One of the hardest places to be in life is in the in-between. You know something needs to change, but you do not know what comes next. You've prayed, waited, and tried to stay strong, but deep down you are asking, God, what am I supposed to do? Maybe one door closed, maybe a relationship ended, maybe your finances feel uncertain, maybe you're trying to rebuild your life, your faith, or your direction. And now you're standing in a place where you do not have clear answers. That kind of season can feel uncomfortable, frustrating, and even scary. But this is where trust becomes real. Because trusting God is easy when the path is clear. Trusting God becomes powerful when you do not know what is next and you choose to believe God anyway. I'm going to share about how to trust God when you don't know what's next. Before I share, I want you to hit that like, notification, and subscribe buttons. That way you will be able to stay in touch and get more encouraging and hope-filled videos like this. A lot of people think trusting God means always feeling peaceful, always feeling confident, and always knowing exactly where life is going. But that's just not how trust usually works. Trust is built in uncertain places. It grows when you do not have all the details. It deepens when you cannot control the outcome. Anyone can say they trust God when everything makes sense. But when the future feels unclear, when the money is tight, when opportunity has not shown up yet, when the answer has not come yet, that is when trust gets tested. And let's be honest, not knowing what is next can make your mind go in all kinds of different directions. You start overthinking, you start imagining worst case scenarios, you start wondering if you missed God or if you even heard Him at all. You start questioning whether things will ever work out for you. So let's talk about how to trust God when you do not know what is next. The first point, admit that uncertainty is hard. The first thing you need to do is be honest. Uncertainty is hard. It is hard not knowing how things will work out. It is hard waiting for direction. It is hard when you want clarity for the path ahead and all you seem to have is silence. A lot of people think faith means pretending that uncertainty does not bother them. But pretending is not trust. Pretending is just pressure. Trust begins with honesty. You can go to God and say, Lord, I do not know what you're doing. Lord, I feel uncertain. God, I need your help because this season is stretching me. That is not weak faith, that is real relationship. Here's an example of what that looks like. Think about the woman who loses her job unexpectedly. I've been there. She has bills due, responsibility, and no clear backup plan. People around her may tell her, just trust God. But that can sound shallow when you are under real pressure and have no backup. Trusting God in that moment does not mean acting like the job loss does not matter. It means bringing the fear, the concern, and the practical need to God while still refusing to believe that one closed door means your whole future is over. Sometimes the first step in trust is simply refusing to panic and admitting that uncertainty is hard. Point number 2 of when you don't know what's next. Stop demanding the whole plan. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to trust God is because they want the full plan of what is up ahead. They want to know, where is this going? They want to know, how long will it take? They want to know how everything will work out. They want to know that the risk will pay off before they take the next step. But God does not give us the whole plan all at once. He gives us enough light for the next step. Not always for the next 10 steps, And that is what makes trust necessary. For example, think about someone who feels called to start a business, ministry, or a new career path. They may want a guarantee before they begin. They may want proof that people will support it, buy from them, or understand the vision. But God gives an instruction before He gives the full explanation. He expects you to do the next instruction that He gives you first. He may tell you to begin learning. He may say, start showing up, to use what you already have, or to take one small step of obedience. In my journey, He said, get an online business and learn AI. Those are the 2 steps He told me. And this instruction, this one small step of obedience, is where many people freeze. Not because they have no direction at all, but because they do not have the complete direction. You do not need the full blueprint to trust God today. You need enough humility to obey the part that He has already shown you. Point 3 in how to trust God when you don't know what's next. Point number 3 in how to trust God when you don't know what's next. Go back to what you know about God. When you don't know what is next, go back to what you do know. You may not know how the season will end. You may not know when the answer is coming. You may not know what door will open, but you can know who God is. God is faithful. God is present. God is wise, and He is not confused. He has not changed His mind about you. He is not late, and He is not careless with your life. He knows what He's doing. When your future feels uncertain, your confidence cannot rest in the future. It has to rest in the character of God. Here's an example of this. And I can also speak from example. This is my example. A single mother trying to rebuild her finances may not know exactly how the next few months will come together. She may be doing everything she can, cutting back, working extra, praying, and trying to stay hopeful. If she builds her peace only on immediate results, she may stay in constant anxiety. But if she remembers that God has carried her before, opened doors before her, and provided in ways she could not have planned for herself, that memory begins to strengthen her trust. Trust does not grow only by staring at what is missing. It grows by remembering who God has been. Sometimes you need to stop asking, what if this does not work? And start reminding yourself, God has been faithful to me before. This is actually an example of my life as a single mom. This is what I've had to do. When you don't know what's next, point number 4, refuse to let fear make your decisions. When you do not know what is next, fear will try to become your guide. Fear will tell you to rush decisions. Fear will tell you to settle or lower your standards. Fear will tell you to quit too soon and to assume the worst. Fear will also tell you that uncertainty means disaster. But fear is a terrible decision maker. God is not a God of fear, but of faith. Trusting God means you do not let fear control your next move. That does not mean you never feel afraid. It means fear does not get the final word. I'll say that again. Fear does not get the final word. You have to tell yourself this. Fear does not get the final word in my life. And here's an example of that. Imagine someone coming out of a painful relationship. They are hurt, disappointed, and unsure of how to move forward. They may be tempted to make quick decisions out of loneliness, desperation, or the need to feel secure again. But trusting God in that season may feel like slowing down, healing, praying, and refusing to let emotional pain push them in another wrong direction. And that is what real trust can look like in real life. Not dramatic or loud, just steady obedience, trusting and following God. Sometimes trusting God means doing nothing impulsive while your emotions are screaming for relief. Point number 5 in trusting God when you don't know what is next. Focus on the next right step. You do not need to solve your whole future in one day. A lot of people stay stuck because they are overwhelmed by the size of the unknown. They are trying to answer questions they do not have grace for yet. What career should I have? Where should I live? Will this work out? What if I fail? What if I choose wrong? And what if this takes longer than I thought? These questions can bury you. Instead, ask, what is the next right step? Not the whole path, the next step. Here's an example. If a person is trying to rebuild their life after burnout, for instance, they may not know the full directions of the next season, but the next right step may be clear. Rest, get healthy, rebuild routines, get back in the Word of God, apply for the opportunity, have that hard conversation, ask someone to forgive you, or extend forgiveness to someone else. Finish the task already in front of you. Big clarity often comes through small obedience. A lot of people want God to reveal the entire future while they ignore today's responsibility. That is not trust, that is avoidance. Trust says, I will do what God is showing me next, even while I wait for what He has not shown me yet. Trust says, I will do what God is showing me now, even while I wait for what He has not shown me yet. Point number 6 on how to trust God when you don't know what is next. Let the waiting season build you. Nobody likes waiting, let's be honest. We want answers, we want movement, we want confirmation and breakthrough. But waiting seasons are not always wasted seasons. Days of preparation are never wasted. If you let Him, God is doing a deep work in you while you wait. He is strengthening your faith. He's exposing unhealthy dependence. He is breaking old patterns that would hold you back. He is teaching you patience and developing maturity in you. He is helping you stop building your identity on outcomes. For instance, think about a person who is praying for an open door in business or ministry. They want growth, visibilities, and results now. But while they're waiting, God may be teaching them discipline, consistency, character, and stewardship. Because if success comes before maturity, it can crush a person instead of helping them. Sometimes the very season that you are trying to escape is the season that is preparing you for what you've asked for. And that matters. Because when you stop seeing waiting as punishment, you can begin to walk through it with purpose. The last point in how to trust God when you don't know what's next is to seek God, not just the answer. This is the real heart of trust. A lot of people want answers more than they want closeness with God. They want relief more than relationship. They want direction more than dependence. But trusting God when you do not know what is next means seeking Him and staying close to Him even before the answer comes. Keep praying, reading the Word, and worshiping. Keep showing up. Keep bringing your real heart to Him. For example, think about someone whose future feels deeply uncertain. This may be you. I've been there at times myself. They do not know if the opportunity will happen, if the relationship will be restored, or if the breakthrough they have been praying for will even come. Trusting God may not change all of that overnight, but it does keep you anchored. It keeps them from drifting into hopelessness or making decisions out of panic. It keeps their heart positioned and in faith instead of defeat. The goal is not to just get through the uncertainty. The goal is to stay connected to God in the middle of it. Because sometimes the greatest gift in an uncertain season is not immediate clarity. It is deeper intimacy with God. If you do not know what is next in your life right now, hear this clearly. You are not forgotten or abandoned. You are not disqualified. And you are not lost just because you do not have all the answers. God knows what is next even when you do not. He sees what you cannot see. He is already ahead of you. He is already in the future that you are all worried about. And He is walking you towards it. Your job is just to trust Him, stay close to Him, and obey the next step He puts in front of you. You may not have the whole map of your future, but you do have a faithful God, and that is enough to keep moving forward. If this message encouraged you, leave a comment and tell me this. What area of your life are you trusting God with right now? Tell me in the comments. I'll see you in the next video, and remember, I am cheering you on.